our next one is all about technology and using technology to produce your products. Okay, there are 4 different ways businesses use these sort of technologies. The first one is robots, okay, and they use them for computer-aided manufacturing. That's basically all about getting the robots to do the work instead of the human beings. Okay, an advantage of this, or a plus of this, is that they're very speedy at doing the work, they're very accurate, and they're very flexible. They can change from doing one job to another, whereas a human being maybe haven't got the skills to do that. Okay, they don't mind boring work, whereas human beings might do, sort of get a bit monotonous and they don't care and the quality might go down, whereas they won't do that. They're very accurate and they don't make mistakes, or they make very few mistakes unless the actual robot breaks down. The disadvantage of that is that the initial cost, it costs a lot of money to install these robots, and if they break down, they have to maintain them. That costs the company money. So that's the first thing, that's robots. The second thing businesses can use is computerized stock control. That's where businesses like Asda and Tesco's will use a computer system to reorder their stock. So remember we talked about the barcodes going through. So for instance, if they had on stock 100 cans of baked beans and Tesco's scans through 50 cans of baked beans that day using the barcodes when they sell them, the computer system knows to reorder another 50 or knows that the stocks are low. So what the advantage is, it triggers an order automatically. Okay, so a human being doesn't have to go around counting those tins of beans. There's less labour because it's done through a computer. So labour, remember, means workers. There are less workers needed for that, which is going to save the company on costs. Again, the bad things are probably the same as the robots. The initial cost, it costs a lot of money to install that in the first place. And if they break down, then what? Then who orders? Okay, so they're relying heavily on technology here. The third thing is communication technology, and that is things like email, and remember we talked about the intranet, which is like websites within a business, only within a business, okay? So the good things here about using communication technology, and that's for within a business and with customers as well, is that it's very fast and you can send out loads and loads of emails all in one go. Okay? You can buy supplies very quickly, so you can use the internet to order supplies and raw materials off your your stockists. Okay? A bad thing is misinterpretation. So if you're communicating via the internet and via email, people might not understand the words on an email, or they might not be able to interpret what you're talking about. Because they're not talking to a human being, they're talking to a computer. Okay, the last thing is computer-aided design, or what we call CAD. And that's all about where a computer, for instance a car, years and years ago they used to hand draw a car, and if the person didn't like it, they'd be like, scrap it, do another one. Okay, and they might have to draw 500 cars before they get the one they want. Whereas computer-aided design will design it, and if they don't like it, they don't have to scrap it, they'll just add to it or change it. So the computer helps them draw it. Okay? They can draw things like houses, cars, all types of things. Even things like that, they will draw that instead of someone having to hand draw it. Okay. It's very quick. It's very easy to use, very quick when you're trained on how to use it. It can be emailed across the world, so you can have somebody who works in England talking to someone who works in Australia, and they can email it back and forth, okay, and they can change things. There's no need for prototypes, so they don't have to make pretend models of it. You can do a collection of designs, so you don't just have to design one type of car, you can design all types of cars. And you can design all different series of the iPhones all in one go. Major disadvantage is it's very expensive, and you have to train people on how to use it. And again, remember, if we rely too much on technology, what happens if it breaks down? Okay? And if it breaks down, what happens to customer service? However, by using this though, we become more efficient, and therefore we create better customer service. So that's technology. So you need to know about the 4 different types of technology.